Welcome to the debate. When you build a dam, you can only force so much water through the spillway before the pressure just shatters the concrete.
Right, the physical structure just gives out.
Exactly. In decentralized networks, that concrete is network propagation delay. The speed of light literally limits how fast data can travel through fiber optic cables from, say, New York to Tokyo. Kaspa respects this physical limit by capping block production at 1 block per second.
But what happens if a new mathematical model claims it can push 10 times the volume through that same physical space? BlockDAG is attempting exactly that. They're proposing a hybrid architecture that aims to process 10 blocks per second, which completely challenges those established limits.
Right, so the question we are grappling with today is whether true directed acyclic graph, or DAG innovation, requires strict adherence to decentralized proof-of-work boundaries, or if a hybrid model can safely multiply throughput without sacrificing the network's integrity. I'll be arguing that Kaspa's mathematically proven 1 block per second limit represents the optimal, secure maximum for pure decentralization.
And I will be arguing that BlockDAG's 10 blocks per second hybrid approach is, well, a necessary and potentially viable leap forward to solve DAG latency bottlenecks.
So, to understand the baseline here, we really have to look at Kaspa's pure ghost DAG protocol. It visualizes as a series of clean, linear-looking parallel chains. Since multiple blocks are mined concurrently, you inevitably get orphan blocks. Kaspa handles this organically with the blue set algorithm. Think of it like the network looking at a tangled web of blocks and coloring the most connected, honest chain of blocks blue to establish a reliable linear timeline.
And that gives you finality pretty quickly?
It guarantees finality in seconds, and it does this strictly through node democracy without violating the physics of decentralized consensus.
1 block per second is incredibly fast compared to legacy blockchains, I'll give you that. But let's be honest, it is still a fundamental weakness for global transaction utility.
I wouldn't call it a weakness.
Well, BlockDAG completely abandons that safe, linear aesthetic because it has to. Visually, it is a denser, much messier web of blocks. They use a variant of the Phantom protocol to attempt to process 10 blocks per second.
Wait, let me stop you right there. You say variant of the Phantom protocol, but how does that actually prevent the network from fracturing under that kind of density? I mean, 10 blocks per second is immense.
It is immense, yeah. But if the math in their variant holds up, that visual messiness isn't chaos. It is actually a signature of superior throughput.
A signature of chaos, more likely.
Not at all. Phantom builds on the same principles as GhostDAG, but attempts a massive conceptual leap. By structuring the network to absorb that volume, they are effectively leaving Kaspa's raw processing capability in the dust. The utility of a network that can handle that kind of global scale, it changes the conversation entirely.
But that assumes the network doesn't collapse under its own weight. Think of it like 10 people trying to write on a single page of a ledger at the exact same time.
Okay.
If they only write 1 line per second, they can coordinate. If you force them to write 10 lines per second, they are going to write over each other's text.
Sure, but...
And that overlapping text is a chain fork. The network then has to waste massive amounts of computing power erasing it and reorganizing the timeline. If BlockDAG's protocol isn't absolutely flawless, that sheer speed generates unresolvable conflicts.
You'd be right if they were using a traditional setup, but you're completely ignoring the mechanism designed to prevent those forks.
The hybrid ordering?
Yes, BlockDAG's hybrid ordering. To process a 10 times multiplier in block creation requires an entirely different approach to load management. They aren't just letting 10 people write blindly on the page. The hybrid consensus dictates how those overlapping entries are sequenced.
But come on, hybrid is almost always a euphemism for a centralized coordinator.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
If you need a specialized node or an external ordering mechanism to untangle that messy web of 10 blocks per second, you don't have a true DAG anymore. You have a database with extra steps.
That is.
Kaspa's node democracy works precisely because it doesn't rely on a centralized crutch to manage its throughput.
I wouldn't call it a crutch. Assuming hybrid ordering automatically negates the entire value of the network is a reductive view of system architecture.
Is it though?
Yes. You simply cannot multiply throughput by 10 without fundamentally altering how consensus handles conflicts under extreme load. Yes, introducing an ordering mechanism outside of pure proof of work introduces vulnerabilities. I acknowledge that.
Huge vulnerabilities.
But it might be the exact architectural trade-off necessary to achieve true global scaling.
Modifying consensus isn't just a theoretical trade-off, though. It has brutal physical hardware realities. Kaspa's mining ecosystem is mature and it's stable. We have specialized KS0 Pro rigs rigorously hashing away in the wild right now because the protocol works. If BlockDAG's hybrid consensus breaks under the load of 10 blocks per second if that math fails to govern the physics, a miner's expensive rig effectively becomes nothing more than a very loud space heater.
Well, that hardware maturity is a double-edged sword. Yes, the KS0 Pros are safe, but safety means slim margins. Early miners in BlockDAG stand to print money specifically because of the high-risk, high-reward nature of this technical gamble.
It's a massive gamble.
It is, but networks do not evolve purely by playing it safe. Ambition drives architecture forward. If developers don't push the hardware and the consensus mechanisms to their absolute breaking point, we will never discover the next paradigm in decentralized scaling.
I mean, Kaspa remains the king of the DAG jungle precisely because it works. Its reliance on pure POW, extensive live testing, and the academic rigor behind its 1 block per second limit prove that its physics function in reality, not just in a simulation.
And my position is that we cannot artificially cap our expectations at 1 block per second simply because it's safer. BlockDAG's ambition and mathematical potential force a necessary reevaluation of what DAG capabilities can actually achieve.
I think where we actually align, though, is that BlockDAG's ultimate viability cannot be determined on paper.
Exactly.
It has to survive a real, sustained adversarial attack under heavy load, without a centralized coordinator stepping in to save the network from collapsing.
Right. The math must survive the hostile reality of a decentralized environment. For anyone analyzing these systems, the best path forward is to dive into the foundational math directly.
Highly recommend that.
Yeah. Read the BlockDAG white paper to understand the conservative, proven consensus model. And read the Phantom white paper to grasp the ambitious, untested framework. Form your own conclusions.
Because until that 10 times multiplier is proven under the brutal pressure of a live attack, we are left wondering if we've